Good day, everyone. I'm Earl Joshua C. Pagdanganan. We hope you're all doing well today. We are here to share a report on a topic that affects us all, and it is pollution. To understand it better, we will focus on a specific case study, Taiwan. In this presentation, we will look at the main sources of pollution in Taiwan, its impact on the environment and public health, and how the government and communities are responding to these challenges. We hope this case study will help us see the bigger picture of why pollution matters and what we can do about it, not just in Taiwan, but in our communities as well. Thank you for your attention. Let's begin our discussion. Welcome to Taiwan. Taiwan has about 23.1 million people and is one of the most crowded places in the world. Most people live in big cities like Taipei. Taiwan's people are getting older, with an average age of 45 years old. Its economy grew fast and is known for making computer chips and smart small businesses. Good planning and exports help this growth. Since 1995, Taiwan's health insurance gives almost everyone cheap and easy healthcare. It is paid for by workers, companies, and the government, and is still a good example for other countries. Geography of Taiwan. Taiwan sits where two tectonic plates meet, which make it have many mountains and steep land. About one-third of the land is higher than 1,000 meters, with many tall peaks like Yushan and Shuishan. The island has lot of hiking trails and hot springs because it is in the Pacific Ring of Fire. Taiwan's 1,700-kilometer coast has rocky cliffs, sandy beaches, wetlands, and coral reefs. These natural features make Taiwan popular for outdoor trips and nature activities. For the next reporter, here is Kyle Jamse.
I am Kyle Jamse, and today I'm going to present to you the plants in Taiwan. Taiwan is home to a rich variety of native and ornamental plants that enhance its biodiversity and culture. Some, like tapaklot tree, have traditional uses, while others such as golden photos and snake plants are popular for air purification but are toxic if ingested. Edible species like pink wood sorrel and pollinator-friendly plants like beggar sticks can become invasive. Decorative plants like ivy tree, orange jasmine, and night-scented lily add beauty to homes and gardens. Despite their value, many species require careful management due to potential health or environmental risks. Taiwan's mountainous terrain supports over 1,000 plant species found nowhere else on Earth. Many, like the Taiwan's edelweiss and Gentianus cabrita, thrive in the alpine zones and are symbols of purity and resilience. This high rate of endemism highlights the island's ecological uniqueness and the importance of conserving these rare plants. Taiwan's unique geography supports rare and iconic animals. The Formosan black bear and blue magpie are symbols of national pride, while species like the Mikado pheasant and rock macaque add to Taiwan's biodiversity. These animals rely on forested and mountainous habitats, making conservation efforts vital. The Taiwanese white dolphin is critically endangered, with fewer than 100 individuals left. Found only in Taiwan's western coastal waters, they face threats like pollution and heavy marine traffic. Protecting them is the key to preserving Taiwan's fragile marine ecosystem.
Taiwan is home to a wide variety of ecosystems due to its unique geographic location, subtropical climate, and diverse topography ranging from coastal plains to high mountain ranges. Presented are five major ecosystems found in Taiwan, with each and its detailed descriptions. Subtropical evergreen broadleaf forests. These forests dominate the lowland and mid-elevation areas of Taiwan, typically below 1500 meters, characterized by lush dense vegetation, and also consists mainly of species like camphor trees, laurel, and various species. The warm and humid climate supports high biodiversity, including insects, birds, amphibians, and mammals. These forests are essential for water conservation and act as a carbon sink. Montane coniferous forests, found at elevations between 2,000 to 3,500 meters. These forests are primarily composed of coniferous trees such as Taiwan fir. Taiwan spruce, and various pine species. The climate is cool and misty, with frequent cloud covers and significant rainfalls, which supports mosses and lichens. These ecosystems are less biodiverse than lowland forests but provide crucial habitats for endemic and endangered species. Wetlands and estuarine ecosystems. Taiwan's wetlands include natural swamps, rivers, estuaries, and man made rice paddies and reservoirs. Prominent examples include the Guandu Nature Park and the Chigo Lagoon. These ecosystems provide breeding grounds for aquatic life and stopover points for migratory birds. They also offer flood control and water purification services. Coral reef ecosystems. Coral reefs are predominantly found around southern Taiwan, particularly near Kenting National Park and Greenland. These warm, shallow waters are home to a vibrant array of marine life. Coral reefs not only support fisheries and tourism but also protect coastlines from erosion and storm surges. Alpine tundra and grasslands above 3,500 meters. Taiwan's highest peaks, such as Yushan, host alpine ecosystems with tundra-like conditions. Vegetation is sparse and consists of hardy grasses, cushion plants, and dwarf shrubs. This harsh environment supports fewer species but is home to several endemic plants and animals adapted to cold and windy conditions. And now handing it over to the next presenter.
Status of environmental pollution. This slide presents a snapshot of Taiwan's current environmental pollution status, focusing on air, water, soil, and noise. Starting with air pollution. Over half of the days in 2022 had good air quality, thanks to strong monitoring networks. PM 2.5 remained the main concern, but average level have improved to around 10 micrograms per cubic meter. For water, Taiwan operates over 300 monitoring stations. There's been a major drop in severely polluted rivers from over 386 kilometers in 2021 to just 74 in 2024. Taiwan also took action on emerging threats by adding PFAS standards to its drinking water regulations. Let me hand it over to our next presenter.
Moving on to soil and noise pollution. While Taiwan is often called a natural soil museum due to its diverse landscapes and rich soil types, its soil quality is under threat from urbanization, industrial pollution, and poor land use. One major case was the Renwu plant incident in 2009 where toxic chemicals severely contaminated groundwater. Over 1,100 hectares of farmland remain affected, particularly by heavy metals like cadmium, which has even been found in rice. In response, the SGPRA law was revised to strengthen pollution control and enforcement. And just this March 2025, Taiwan hosted an international forum promoting sustainable soil and groundwater management across ASEAN. And as for the noise pollution, it remains a widespread issue, especially in Taipei where 30% of residents live with harmful noise levels. Although regulations exist, enforcement is difficult due to social and political factors. To help, the EPA installed acoustic camera systems to monitor noisy vehicles and enforce penalties. Still, managing noise pollution requires stronger cooperation between citizens and government. Let me now turn it over to our next presenter. Thank you.
Taiwan has enacted key environmental laws to fight pollution and promote sustainability. The Air and Water Pollution Control Act reinforces stricter emissions and monitoring. The Waste Disposal Act and 4-in-1 Recycling Program improves waste management, while the Resource Recycling Act promotes reuse. The Greenhouse Gas Reduction Act targets a 50% emission cut by 2050. These laws reflect Taiwan's strong commitment to environmental protection. Through innovation and public awareness, Taiwan continues to lead in green initiatives. Its approach to serve as a model for balancing development with environmental responsibility. And that is all for my report. Thank you. For the next reporter, I will introduce Ray John Ducott.
Now that we have understood Taiwan's pollution challenges, let's take a look at the key environmental programs and interventions currently addressing these issues. First is the Taiwan Air Quality Monitoring Networks. which has over 70,000 stations tracking pollutants like PM2.5 and NO2. With this data, the government was able to cut average PM2.5 levels nearly in half since 2016. This success came from strong policy actions, including phasing out millions of old motorcycles and upgrading industrial boilers. Next is the Soil and Groundwater Pollution Regulations Act, or SGPRA, served as Taiwan's legal backbone for tackling soil pollutions. After the major Renwu plant incident, Taiwan not only enforced large-scale cleanups but also took leadership by hosting an international forum on sustainable soil governance just this year. In this term of water safety, Taiwan maintains over 300 monitoring stations and river pollution has been reduced dramatically. To address new chemical threats, Taiwan added PFAS standards to its drinking water laws, an important step for long-term health protections. For noise pollution, the government launched acoustic camera system in 2021 to catch 6 penalized vehicles that exceed noise threshold. These efforts have earned satisfaction from residents, and stricter noise control are now required for public events. Taiwan waste management is led by the 4-in-1 recycling programs. Launched in 1997, it brings together citizenship, local governments, private recyclers, and recycling fund to promote mandatory waste separations and product specification recycling. Finally, Taiwan's commitment to global climate goals is anchored in Greenhouse Reduction Act, which aimed to cut emissions by 50% of 2005 levels by 2050. The Act enforces climate planning, emission trading, and a dedicated fund to support green innovations. With these programs, Taiwan shows how science, law, and collaboration can shape a sustainable future. I'll turn it over to our next presenter to recommendation on what technology and other management approach should be applied to address the gap. To further strengthen Taiwan's environmental effort, here are several key recommendations that combine technology and strategic management. First, we recommend the use of advanced monitoring technologies. In nice industrial zones like Kaohsiung and Yunlin, Taiwan can expand its use of IoT sensors for real-time air and water quality tracking. Drones and satellites can also help detect illegal dumping, deforestation, and coastal erosion, essential for boosting climate resilience. Second, Taiwan should invest in ecosystem restoration projects. Reviving degrading wetland and forests will not only support biodiversity, but also provide natural buffers against climate impacts. Creating wildlife corridors can help protect vulnerable species like the Formosan black bear and Chinese white dolphin from habitat fragmentation. Third, in terms of waste, innovative waste management is key. With limited landfill space, Taiwan can move towards smart waste collection system, roboting, robotic sorting, and reuse platforms. These technologies will further enhance Taiwan's recycling achievements and bring it closer to its zero waste target. Finally, we propose regulatory enhancement by tightening emission standards, requiring real pollution reporting and encouraging clean innovation through incentives like carbon pricing and green procurement. Taiwan can align economic growth with long-term environmental sustainability. With these strategies, Taiwan can close existing gaps and lead the region toward a greener and more resilient future. Let me hand it over to our next presenter. Thank you.
Major activities causing environmental pollution with impact on human health in Taiwan. Taiwan's main sources of environmental pollution are industrial manufacturing, poor waste management, heavy traffic, and rapid urban growth. Industries like petrochemical, steel, and electronics release chemical and metals that can cause cancer and other health problems. Vehicle emissions, especially PM2.5, lead to respiratory and heart issues, while less green space from suburban growth makes heat and mental stress worse. Studies during 2021 COVID-19 lockdown showed that traffic pollution dropped but industrial pollution stayed the same, proving that the multiple sources affect air quality and public health. Overall, Taiwan's human activities have a strong link to population and serious health risks.
Let's begin with two key government agencies responsible for environmental monitoring and public health in Taiwan. The first one is the Ministry of Environment, or MOENV, formerly known as the Environmental Protection Administration. This ministry sets the country's environmental quality standards, including air, water, and soil guidelines. It also oversees waste disposal, groundwater protection, and pollution control. Through its Environmental Management Bureau, the MOENV manages programs like countrywide air pollution monitoring network and enforces laws such as the Noise Control Act and Soil and Water Conservation Act. These initiatives are designed to reduce pollution and support healthier living conditions. Next, we have the Ministry of Health and Welfare, or the MOHW. This agency plays a vital role when pollution directly affects human health. It conducts health risk assessments, issues public warnings, and leads studies on environmental hazards, including toxic chemicals and contaminated water. For example, in the Renwu chemical contamination case, the Ministry of Health and Welfare collaborated with the MOENV to assess public health impacts and communicate risk to the community. Their combined efforts ensure that both environmental and health concerns are addressed in a coordinated manner. Now let's look at the two other agencies involved in managing water and soil health. Under the Ministry of Economic Affairs, the Water Resources Agency, or WRA, is responsible for managing Taiwan's rivers and water systems. It plays a key role in controlling river pollution, monitoring water quality, and safeguarding water sources from industrial and domestic waste. The WRA also helps prepare for drought emergencies and supports infrastructure development to ensure clean and sustainable water access, especially under climate-related stress. The next one is the Council of Agriculture, or the COA, which takes the lead on soil health and farming practices. The COA works closely with the MOENV to manage the pesticides and fertilizer use, rehabilitate polluted farmland, and promote sustainable agriculture. One key example is the cadmium contamination in rice fields. In the Renwu incident, way back 2009, in response, the COA supported phytoremediation and land use planning strategies to protect food safety and restore soil productivity. And lastly, we have the local government units, or the thing they call LGUs, which serve as the frontliners in implementing national environmental policies at the community level. They are responsible for enforcing environmental laws, responding to citizens' complaints, and managing waste collection and recycling programs. Because they operate close to the people, LGUs play a key role in ensuring that policies translate into real action on the ground. What makes Taiwan's approach effective is also the collaboration among all these agencies. Instead of assigning pollution control to a single office, Taiwan adopts a cross-sector strategy. Agencies like the MOENV, MOHW, WRA, and COA work together, especially during environmental emergencies, to deliver faster responses, more realistic policies, and better protection for public health and the environment.
And now, discussing the efforts by the government in addressing pollution problems. The Taiwanese government has undertaken comprehensive and multifaceted efforts to address pollution problems, particularly focusing on air pollution, waste management, and soil and groundwater contamination. Recognizing the critical impact of pollution on public health and environment sustainability, Taiwan has implemented a series of legislative, regulatory, and practical measures aimed at pollution reduction and environmental protection. One of the central pillars of Taiwan's pollution control strategy is the Air Pollution Control Act, which has undergone significant amendments to strengthen emission standards and enforce mechanisms in 2018. The act was revised to accelerate energy transformation, restrict vehicle and factory emissions more rigorously, and improve pollution source management and treatment. Building on this, the government launched an air pollution control action plan covering 2020 to 2023, which targets reductions in fine particulate matter and volatile organic compounds, key contributors to air quality degradation. This plan adopts a holistic approach by addressing pollution as its sources, stationary, mobile, and fugitive. For stationary sources, measures include stricter fuel permit reviews, fuel type changes, and enhanced emission monitoring systems. For mobile resources, the government promotes the replacement of aging motorcycles, diesel vehicle emission reductions, and the electrification of urban bus fleets. These efforts have yielded measurable improvements in air quality from 2016 to 2022. The national annual average concentration of 2.5 million dropped from 6.2 to 12.2, surpassing interim targets ahead of schedule. The proportion of days with good or moderate air quality increased significantly, indicating enhanced public health protection. Furthermore, coordinated regional actions have notably improved air quality in central and southern Taiwan during the critical autumn and winter seasons, with a dramatic reduction in high pollution alerts. Beyond air pollution, Taiwan has also advanced legislation and enforcement related to waste management and soil and groundwater pollution. The Soil and Groundwater Pollution Remediation Act, promulgated, has supported by subsidiary regulations and standards to control and remediate contaminated sites. The government, alongside state owned enterprises like CPC corporations, has actively conducted pollution surveys and implemented remediation plans at numerous sites, demonstrating a commitment to addressing legacy pollution issues. In summary, Taiwan's government has demonstrated a robust and adaptive approach to pollution control through legislative reforms, strategic action plans, technological upgrades, and public involvement. These efforts have significantly improved air quality, enhanced pollution monitoring and enforcement, and advanced sustainable waste and soil management. Continued commitment and collaboration among government agencies, industries, and citizens remain essential to sustaining and building upon these environmental gains. And now, I'm handing it to the next presenter. For the conclusion, Taiwan's distinct geography, climate, and rich mountainous terrain make it a critical refuge for plant biodiversity and a remarkable center of endemism in East Asia. With over 4,000 native vascular plant species, of which around 26% are endemic, Taiwan boasts a unique botanical heritage that reflects the island's evolutionary history and ecological complexity. These endemic species are primarily concentrated in higher elevations where geographic isolation has catalyzed evolutionary diversification and specialization. The island's ecosystem, spanning from lush lowland broadleaf forests rich in species like camphor, laurel, and fig trees to montane coniferous forests, supports an extraordinary diversity of fauna, including numerous insects, birds, amphibians, and mammals. These habitats not only harbor biodiversity hotspots but also provide critical ecological services such as water regulation, conservation, and carbon sequestration, all of which are fundamental to each and the environmental sustainability and human welfare of Taiwan. Addressing these multifaceted challenges requires an integrated adaptive management approach that combines rigorous scientific research with effective environmental policy and public engagement. Taiwan's ongoing efforts in ecological monitoring, habitat restoration, and policy frameworks provide valuable models for conservation practice. Such efforts not only safeguards Taiwan's biodiversity but also enhance the resilience of ecosystem services crucial for human health and economic development. Moreover, Taiwan's experience underscores the importance of regional cooperation and knowledge sharing, offering lessons applicable to the neighboring countries with similar ecological contexts and developmental pressures. Collaborative partnerships can strengthen regional biodiversity conservation, promote sustainable resource use, and foster resilience against global environmental challenges. In conclusion, the protection and sustainable management of Taiwan's natural landscapes are imperative for preserving its unique biodiversity and vital ecosystem functions. Continued interdisciplinary research, robust policy supports, and regional collaboration will be essential to ensuring that Taiwan maintains a resilient environment capable of supporting its diverse species and human communities well into the future. And now for the next presenter.